What is up, everyone? Welcome to a brand new FPL game mode called FPL Challenge. It is live, it is right now on. You can access it via the browser fplchallenge.premierleague.com. Link will be in the description of how to access it. But this is how the screen looks, and you should be able to access it via your phone as well through the FPL app. But for the moment, it's not on there. But I think they will eventually push out an update that you can access it via your phone as well. But what we've got so far is a game mode with a brand new squad every single week, which means different criteria challenges as well every single week. And this week's Game Week 30 challenge is unlimited budget, basically a limitless chip. If you play the UEFA fantasy game, or any other fantasy games, basically you can pick any player you want in the game for this week. Next week, it's supposed to be apparently where forwards score double points. So you could have a Darwin Núñez against Sheffield United, and you could get him to score double points. And if you captain him, there may be quadruple points from Darwin Núñez. And then apparently Game Week 31 is most likely red rivalries. So players from United and Liverpool score double points. That's what's rumored to come, but we'll wait and see. But like you can see, unlimited budget for Game Week 30. New week, new challenge, no commitments. So it's easy, especially for those of you who are getting in, who haven't played FPL before and you want something that is very short for the moment as a beta. This is really great. Another thing to consider is you can select up to 5 players from one club. So if you want, let's say for example, this week Spurs are playing Luton, you want 5 Spurs players, you can have that as well. It's slightly different to the actual FPL game where you're only allowed 3, but this one you can have 5. And then obviously you have weekly prices. Now, shall we have a look at the rules and how they're actually done? So, one thing to consider is the game is played on a game week by game week basis. That means your scores from different game weeks are not added together to create a total across the season. Now, that is good news. Why? Because it means that it's open every week, and that means each game week you have a chance of being the top of your mini league. And we will create a football Chatbox mini league as well if it's possible, and you can be world number 1 as well every week. So there's prizes to be won every week as well from the looks of it, which is great as well. So it gives people an opportunity, and also means that there is no rank to worry about or anything like that. You can have a lot of fun with this game mode. Now, team selection is almost similar in terms of structure to the actual FPL game. You get your 2 goalkeepers, your 5 defenders, 5 midfielders, 3 forwards. The only thing different is that you can select 5 players from a Premier League team compared to 3 in the actual game mode. And you still have 100 million budget, but it doesn't apply for this week because you have unlimited budget. But going forward, for other weeks, if the challenge criteria doesn't have an unlimited budget, that means you have to spend within the 100 million. In terms of team management, though, this is another interesting thing. So you must select 11 players, a captain and vice captain. Okay, that's the same thing. But you can make unlimited changes to your starting lineup, captain, and choice of the squad before and during the game week. So if you played like the World Cup fantasy, Euro fantasy, even Champions League fantasy, you can alternate. Like, let's say you get news, right? That let's say press news that certain players are not going to be available for the upcoming game. You don't have to worry that they are in your squad because you can transfer them out and get new players in. So that's pretty good because that helps. And for example, if I was to give you an example, let me go to the home page. And if you scroll all the way down, game week 30 fixtures, look at the deadline. The deadlines are explained. So your first game is that's your first deadline. And your next deadline, it says, is at 11:30, which would be, so I'm assuming if you look at the blocks here, these are each of the blocks where you can change players. So you can change players in each of these blocks. So after Newcastle West Ham, if you let's say you get news that Palmer is not playing against Burnley, you can change it once you get the team news out. You can change it before the kickoff. You can make changes to your team, so that's good. Which means you don't have to worry about leaks as well, because you can wait for the team lineup to come out and you can make changes based on that as well. Doesn't really help those in different time zones as much, but because there is no, like, your scores don't count towards like different game weeks and resets every week. y- I mean, okay, for example, let's say Aston Villa Wolves won't be as great for some of us living in Australia in time zone difference, but the others should be doable, to be honest, once we get the team sheet. So it's not too big of a problem, but it's a great game mode, which means you can play, make changes, don't have to worry about leaks, don't have to worry about, oh no, my player is not starting. All of that is not an issue in this game mode. So that's pretty good. Automatic substitutions, same thing as the actual FPL game. One thing to do consider, I wonder if this is the same as like the Euros. No, same thing. Okay. Same rules as the one from the actual FPL game. Defender can only be substituted by defender if you don't have like minimum 3, all of that. Price changes is also the same as the actual FPL price change. So if a player rises in the actual FPL game, it'll be reflected over here as well. Reflect those including any rise. As a result of this, the value of your squad value may differ from the initial. You paid irrespective of any rises or falls. Okay, so this is the thing. This is one thing to kind of consider. So let's say you buy cold. Let's say you buy Let's say you buy Palmer, right? Palmer right now would be 5.7 or something on the actual game. Let's say you bought him for 5.7. Oh, I think it's, yeah, probably 5.7. Let's say you bought him for 5.7, right? If he rises to 5.8 or 5.9, you still sell him at 5.7. So you don't gain any team value from the looks of it. Because players will be sold at the price you paid irrespective of any rises or falls. So even if he falls down to 5.6, you still sell him at 5.7. Team value is not going to be an issue in this game, at least. It's just that you have to still play within the 100 million budget. However, one thing though is, if you know how players rise on the days of during the game week as well. So there is a possibility that you could get a player for within the 100 million budget, and then obviously the player goes up in price, so your budget has kind of rised, but you'll be selling them again before for the price that you bought them, not for the price that you're selling them, if that makes sense. All right, now deadlines. From the looks of it, you may create a squad for a game week provided that at least 3 Premier League clubs haven't yet played that game week. So you can let's say you miss the deadline, the first one, no problem. You can still create a team in any of these game weeks as long as it's not for the final 3 game weeks, which I assume are these 3 fixtures. So if you can create a game, if you create a squad anytime between these, it's fine as long as the final 3 games haven't happened. From the looks of it, where is it? We create a squad for, yeah, at least 3 Premier League clubs haven't yet played that game week. So even doesn't have to be final 3. It has basically the final 2 fixtures they shouldn't happen, technically speaking. So as long as you create a team before the final 2 fixtures, you're good. That is because you cannot select a player from a club that has already played a fixture or is currently playing a fixture that game week. Yep, makes sense. Changes to your team, starting team, blah blah blah, can be made at any time during the game week, like we mentioned. But once a player's club has started their first match of the game week, they will be locked for any changes. Kind of obvious. If you picked a player in the Newcastle game and they didn't perform, well, that is unlucky. Just like all the other fantasy games, you can't really get rid of them. However, yeah, okay. The only difference between like World Cup fantasy, Euro fantasy, or even the FPL, sorry, the maybe even the Champions League fantasy is that, let's say a player doesn't perform, it doesn't seem like you can sub them out for a player on your bench. So means that if they play, they're stuck there. So you can't even remove a player that hasn't performed as well from the looks of things. At least that's what I'm getting from this. Yeah, can be made. Yeah, but once a player has started their first match of a game, they'll be locked from any changes. I'm assuming that you can't even sub them out, probably. Scoring looks to be the same. From the looks of it, yes, it does look to be the same. Rebounds. Yeah, okay, that's the same situation. Bonus points are also the same. From scoring leagues, leagues are, you can compete in up to 25 private leagues. That's the same. Everyone starts from zero for each new game week, which is what we mentioned before. And you'll automatically join your existing leagues when creating a team for a new challenge. Okay. So if you join a league, which I will create later, you can also continue to be in the same league, and then obviously global leagues. So basically everything is the same. From the core rules are the same, except for the fact that you get a new criteria of challenge every single week. And this week obviously we have unlimited budget, so you basically go create a team, select a club. We're going to be selecting, for me at least, Man United. And I'm going to create a club like that. And yes, and then we create a team, and you basically get a draft like this, and you get to pick your team, pick your players every week, get a new criteria, new change. So obviously for now, I will auto pick a team and save it, and we'll create a league, and I'll put the league code in the description. Let me know what you think about it. It seems a very interesting concept. I will create a league, obviously, don't worry about that. But very interesting concept. Let me know what you think, and comment down below. Are you looking forward to this game? Or it's obviously in beta for the moment. We'll see if it has enough hype. They might create it going forward for the next season as well. So we'll kind of wait and see. But I will make a video later, sometime this week, on a Game Week 30 unlimited budget squad. Let me know if you're interested, and make sure to join the mini league. And if you have, let me know in the comments as well. Thank you all for watching. My name is Ryan. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all later.